Hey folks, Jim McCallum here. We're here in Shallotte at the beautiful Riverwalk Park. My guest is Mayor Walt Eckert. Mr. Eckert has been so instrumental in the vision and construction of this wonderful facility. Then we'll travel to Odell Williamson on the beautiful Brunswick Community College campus, and we'll talk to them about their Fall Artist Series. So stay with us as we explore more of our hometown. Hey folks, we're here in Shallotte. We're here at the Shallotte Riverwalk. My special guest is Mayor Walt Eckert. Mr. Mayor, thanks for being with us.
Jim, it's always a pleasure, thank you. And it's a delight to be down here on our Riverwalk, which will be opening soon.
It's a hot, sultry day, but we'll do the best we can.
Absolutely.
Walt, we go back 13 years for the beginning of this great story.
You're exactly right, Jim. Back in 2008, the town undertook a vision plan, and there were two main parts of it. One was to improve the walkability of Main Street, and we've done some things there.
Right.
The second was to open up this whole land down here, which is so important to the history of Shallotte, but which many people don't even really realize it exists because it's all been blocked off by the development on Main Street.
They're going to know soon, right?
I'm counting on it.
Yeah. Were you the mayor when all this began?
No, I was on the planning board at that time, and we decided to do the vision plan, and I got the task. The board said, "How much does one of them our vision plans cost?" And I said, "About 50,000," which was, was right. But they said, "Well, if you can raise half of that, the town will fund the other half." Well, the only thing I hate more than asking for money is having my teeth pulled. But I went around to the old families in Shallotte, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me, Jim. They all told me their stories of their family history.
Sure. Related
to the Shallotte River, going back into the 1800s, barges and traffic that came up the river, pictures of their first homestead. And their unifying interest was preserving the history of the Shallotte River for all of our citizens.
Remind our viewers that the boats actually came almost up to Main Street.
That's correct, with cargo, and they would unload, and where we now have Mulberry Park was a place a lot of the stuff got unloaded to.
Right.
And then supplies, mainly crops, would go downriver and go up to Wilmington.
It was not without a few hiccups.
This whole plan it's been a journey. And like most journeys, there have been learnings that
that's how we grow.
Our initial concept was to do the Riverwalk and all of the development at one fell swoop. That was difficult. Developers had difficulty getting the financial resources to do that, after working with two developers where it didn't work out, we determined to go forward, build the Riverwalk, and work on the development ourselves.
And it's worked out so well. Let's just talk about the Riverwalk itself, Mr. Mayor. It's behind us in our current scene. How long is it?
Well, it's a little over a third of a mile, but it seems when I walk it a little longer than that to me. But yes, it captures multiple views of the Shallotte River. Behind us, which our viewers may not be able to see, is all wetlands.
Right.
Further to the left, as we walk down the Riverwalk, you have a view of the river all the way down towards the coast. And so it really opens up the whole vista of what this river was like and is like now.
Tourism is a giant industry for Brunswick County, and the same is true for Shallotte. And it's especially true for the effect that this development will have on tourism.
Yes, and that was one of our key considerations. We wanted to build something that, first of all, helped move some of the businesses off Main Street into here, but to mainly make this a citizen area. And by providing what we think will be a nice venue here with Mulberry Park and with our plans for the future of this, we think will attract a lot of people who, especially in the summer, come down, for a vacation and are always by about the third day looking for something different to do.
Correct, yeah, right. And consistent with that, the economy here in Shallotte.
We have been and we're experiencing now very, very rapid growth, and that presents a number of challenges. One, infrastructure.
Right.
We've got to make sure we have the staffing for police and fire, for maintenance, of course, water and sewer. But we need to also expand recreational opportunities for people coming in. We're looking in the next several years of a population growth of probably 40 to 50% of what we are now.
What are you now?
We're now about 5,000, and I'll be shocked if we're not over 8,000 in about 3 years. Right.
Mr. Mayor, let's talk about the green space, which is off to my left here. We have the Riverwalk here, but we also have a lot of open space.
We do, and it's, if I can go back in history just a minute, Jim, back in 2008 when we started this, we didn't own a piece of land down here. Our initial thought was, let's paint a pretty picture and then everybody will want to do it. Well, then late 2008 and 2009 happened. And that actually, the silver lining in that was a number of the houses down here had senior citizens in them whose family didn't want the house, and they needed to move different kinds of housing care. And so we started buying land. Now the land we're on now was what part of the biggest purchase and our largest purchase. It was formerly a machine shop and a boat repair facility. We were able to negotiate a purchase price of just over $2 million. And Brunswick Electric was a great partner in this. With their efforts, we got a cooperative loan that for the $2 million purchase price with 0 interest and 10-year level amortization. And we're 8 years into paying off it, so we have about 2 more years to go of making payments.
Thank you, Brunswick Electric.
Thank you, absolutely. They were great partners. And other than that, we didn't borrow any money to purchase the land. We own now something like 17 acres down here along the water. And our long-term plans are to preserve green space and walkability, but also to have probably some restaurants, maybe a hotel. We'll see how the development takes us, but that's going to be one of the next phases we work on.
Right. Let's talk about the mid-September opening. Do you have a date for that?
Yes, we're going to, our opening is scheduled for September 10th. We're going to open this to the community at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we hope that's a Friday, so we're hoping people will come down right after Labor Day, come down and start seeing what this is all about.
You mentioned the possible commercial development. What's this place going to look like in 5 or 10 years?
Well, our hope and plan is that we're going to have some development right along the waterfront, because that's very valuable property.
Sure.
We see a couple restaurants there, maybe a canoe and kayak rental facility. We're also going to build in green space. The current plan calls for a nice sort of secondary park, smaller than Mulberry Park, but a green space park.
Sure.
Down by the water. And then as we move closer to Main Street, we'll have buildings 2 and 3 stories high. The land slopes like this, so from Main Street down here. So our goal is to preserve the view of the river and not block it, but we can do that with the slope and have some several level buildings.
Handicap access, we want to talk about that.
Yes, this is designed to comply with all the handicap requirements. We built the Riverwalk wide enough so both people that are mobility challenged and young families can walk easily abreast across the Riverwalk. And the entrances are going to be certainly handicap accessible. And it's, we hope that everybody comes down and enjoys this wonderful area.
It's amazing. Let's take our viewers across the street from Main Street and visually connect them to some of the developments that are going on in the Mulberry Park area.
Yes. Our first major development several years ago was developing a Mulberry Park, and that's getting a lot of use from our citizens, and we're delighted with that. We have our concert and movie series there, we have events there, we have the farmers market there, and we have an awful lot of citizens that walk there and picnic there and party there in our park, our pavilion. We purchased about 2 years ago something a little less than 10 acres of land across from Mulberry Street, bordering on the river.
Across the street and toward the water.
Toward the water. And we've got a grant proposal in, and if that is successful, we'll start developing that land. And the initial phase calls for additional walking area, wildflower gardens, outdoor classroom, and probably another picnic pavilion. And of course, restrooms.
So make the connection, because you're painting a picture that connects this wonderful Shallotte Riverwalk with more Riverwalk on the other side of Main Street.
Our long-term plan, and you're exactly right, Jim, our long-term plan is to have this as sort of one terminus of the Riverwalk, develop it behind Camp Methodist, getting over the road, we're working on how to feasibly do that,
Sure.
and then continuing it up to Mulberry Park. So when the vision is complete, you'll be able to walk from Mulberry Park all the way down here on the Riverwalk.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, I noticed some gazebos along here. Talk about that and the other structures that are along here.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Jim. We have a gazebo at each end, which provides a number of things. It's going to be a nice rest area. We're planning to have
Sure.
benches in there, a way station as you go from one side to the other, and the gazebos will be open on September 10th. One of them is completed, the other one is nearing completion. So we're very excited about that, and I think that'll be a nice place for the citizens. And it's key that they show two completely different views of the Shallotte River, one downriver and one looking back towards Shallotte.
Yeah. Now we're almost at elbow height here. This offers the opportunity for historical signs and other
Yeah, we probably
signs.
won't have it by the 10th, but
Sure.
we'll have it shortly thereafter. We're working on developing a series of signs, both historical and natural. The historical goes back to the desires of the community, especially the long-term residents, to tell people the history. And so we'll have pictures such as a buggy pulled up in front of the old post office, a ship that used to come up the river, and other scenes from back in the day in Shallotte. But bringing it up to present, we're going to also have nature signs to help the people understand what they're looking at, both in terms of marshland and plant vegetation and so on, and also then wildlife they might see down here.
In doing so, you've taken it to another level, from a walk along the Riverwalk to a lesson in history and culture.
And yeah, and that's in keeping with our whole theme. This is a treasure for the people of Shallotte.
Sure.
And you can see it today, but then you can imagine what it was and why the town grew up the way it did because of this river.
Yeah. In the moments that we have, Mr. Mayor, first, thank you for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Well, it's been my pleasure.
And thank you for all those years, even though you began on the Planning Commission and then became mayor. I want our viewers to know that it's you that got this started and kept it going, and we thank you for that.
Well, that's kind, and I also have to give thanks. The Board of Aldermen have been uniform and unanimous in their support.
Absolutely.
Over all the years, even when we had some hiccups, they never wavered in their commitment to this, and so being unified was a key factor in our success.
I think you've answered this question, but it may give you a chance to answer it again. What do you want the public to know and to see from this wonderful development?
I want them to see the beauty of the nature. I want them to eventually appreciate the history. And I want them to identify with pride that they are part of Shallotte, and Shallotte is a unique and special place in Brunswick County.
Mr. Mayor, thank you again.
Jim, thank
Wonderful.
you. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, in the past, they hadn't really worried about doing Facebook Live or anything, and then of course the pandemic hit and we had to rethink some things. So we were going to try to do live, and I spoke with a friend of mine and he said, your signal unfortunately isn't strong enough. So that's when we made the switch to AT&C. Since we switched, it has been totally different. I mean, there's no comparison between what we had before. We use a program called OBS to broadcast from our camera to Facebook, and it tells me how many frames have been dropped. Well, with the previous provider, about 98% of the frames were lost. And then the first Sunday we did with AT&C, we had 0%. We've heard a lot of buzz in the community, and we're able to reach more because the signal is better, and the quality of the video and the audio is better. So I mean, it has helped us reach more people that we otherwise may not have. I believe they have good customer service, good installation people. I was out here when they put the Wi-Fi in here at the sanctuary, and they were very nice, very quick and easy and friendly. And so yes, I would highly recommend AT&C to whoever is maybe looking or debating on switching. I would say yes, go ahead and make the switch.
Folks, as you can see in the background, we are here at the beautiful Odell Williamson Auditorium. My special guest is Danielle Graves, who runs this show. Am I right?
It is, yes, sir.
You have a title, I'm sure, but you do it all.
We do it all, yes, sir.
All right, what is your title?
I am the director of OWA and campus events here for Brunswick Community College.
Thanks for all that you do.
Thank you.
It's a big job. It's a big job. Hey, we want to talk about a number of things. First, let's let our viewers know about the Fall Artist Series.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I know you have 4 coming up.
We do.
And is it worthwhile to talk a little bit about each of them and let our viewers know what they're all about?
Yeah, we certainly can.
The first one is one that I grew up on, I hate to say, but it's true, and that's the Kingston Trio.
Yes, we have the Kingston Trio, has been rescheduled 7 times due to COVID, but they are backed for the final time on September 9th.
And I mentioned to you that I still have my tickets.
You did,
my
yes, the
tickets.
original,
They, they may have historical value at this point. They're an old folk group out of the 60s.
Yes, they are.
And at least for some of our folks out here in Brunswick County land, they'll really enjoy that show.
They will, and the ticket sales have still been wonderful.
Good.
So that has been a positive note
Good.
On the outside.
Let's give our viewers the date.
It is Thursday, September the 9th.
And the time.
7 p.m.
And because we have a spacious auditorium, those that don't have tickets can probably still come up.
They can get their tickets in advance. They can get them at the door the night of the show.
All right. That's the first one.
That is the first one.
Talk about the next one.
The next one we have Blues Traveler.
Right.
September 30th, another Thursday night show. It is general admission. It's a 7:30 show.
Okay.
But with all the shows, we are continuing to do food trucks and beer and wine. And this year you can even take the beer and wine inside the seating area.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Blues rock, I mean, how do you describe them?
They are. They're a rock from the 80s, and they've grown late 80s into from New Jersey, and they've just continued to keep playing. They do the blues with John Popper and his harmonica, just amazing artistry.
Because you mentioned New Jersey, you have to, it's not easy to schedule these folks because they're touring all over the country.
They are, and we are part of their tour this year. They are bringing their tour to Brunswick County, North Carolina.
That's wonderful. October 23rd, a comedian.
Comedian John Reap, he's from Hickory, North Carolina.
That's great.
So he's a local.
Yeah.
Yes, October 23rd, 7:30 show. Tickets are available now. They can get them at the door again. We're looking forward to having him.
I went to a comedy show a few nights ago and came to realize how difficult it is to be a great comedian.
That is true.
Nothing easy about that. But we will enjoy that so much.
We will.
One more, November 6th.
November 6th, Shaky Graves was here, another tour coming to Brunswick County, North Carolina. He does rock, and he is popular with the younger audience. The university college kids absolutely love Shaky Graves.
I didn't know about Shaky Graves, but he's a one-man band.
Yes. He does come with a band.
Oh, okay.
But he does some acoustic stuff.
Okay. Country rock? I mean, help us out.
He's more rock.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. So again, for our viewers, those are the four performing arts, the four shows of the performing arts series for the fall. Let's talk about tickets.
Yes.
Can you buy a group tickets?
We're not doing group tickets right
Okay.
now. If you want group tickets, we can certainly see what we can do. Most have been individual. With the tours, you have to put a limit on it because they don't want you to go back and resell them.
Sure.
So we've put a limit on it, but we can definitely help anybody that wants more than
All right.
more than that.
We just want our viewers to know that these shows are here, and we want them to be out here to enjoy them.
We do. We're here for the community. Absolutely.
Right. Now, I'm jumping around a little bit, but you also are planning a series in early 22.
We are, yes. And also to finish out 21,
Please.
we do have a Christmas show.
Thank you.
We
Thank
have
you.
the Stephen Curtis Chapman's Acoustic Christmas on December the 10th. That one has already been popular. It's not on sale yet, but it's very popular already with telephone calls. So we're looking forward to having Stephen Curtis Chapman here for Christmas.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I missed it. Okay, on to 2022.
Yes, yes.
1922. 2022,
Yes.
really. Talk about the artists that are coming then.
So we decided to go ahead and try to have a season. So we have starting January 15th, Shenandoah. They are Grammy-winning,
Very
ACM
popular.
nominated country act. But Shenandoah is bringing Kirk J. He was a member or a finalist on The Voice,
Wow.
season 15. So they will be here January 15th. And then February 4th, we have Motones versus Jersey live show. That is very audience interactive. It is Motown music versus Jersey music. So they
Wow.
come out with like their boxing gloves on, and then the audience picks who's the winner for the night.
No kidding.
No kidding. So
Great.
that one's February the 4th.
Right.
And then February 11th, we have Amethyst Kia. She is rock and folk and soul. She is an amazing up-and-coming performer.
A one-person show?
One show, yes, one-person show. But Amethyst Kia, February the 11th. I've been fascinated with her. And then Effa O'Donovan is going to close out our little 4 season on February 24th. And she does more folk music as well.
Okay. We want our viewers to come out to catch all these shows.
Yes.
But I want our viewers to know that there's so much that goes on in this auditorium virtually every single day.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about some of the beehive of activity
Yes.
that exists here at Odell Williams.
Yes. We are very much community-based. We have all the high schools and a lot of the middle schools come here to do their band concerts
Sure.
For fall and the spring. So band, we've got their chorus concerts,
graduations.
dance, graduations, even the community college's graduation in May. So we're pretty much breaking down one event and setting up for the other event right now.
Right. Most people will know that we have the Events Center, which is situated just off to the left of
Yes.
the main building.
Yes.
That's available.
That is available and stays busy as well. We do a lot of retirement seminars, manager meetings for fast food restaurants.
Wow.
We even have parties. People will book for parties and events such as that as well.
I know you're looking for volunteers because I got a call recently.
We are always.
So you're always in need of volunteers.
We are.
What are some of the ways that volunteers assist?
Volunteers assist us, and they are the jewel of our auditorium. We couldn't do it
true.
without our volunteers. They help take tickets. They help seat people, handicap, or just anyone trying to find their seat. They have been here during our dance competitions, again, just to kind of monitor the food and the drinks. But they do it all. They are here for some of our special events that are rentals. They'll come and help assist those
Sure.
that have rented the building as well.
Danielle, we touched on it briefly, but let's talk for just a second about how COVID affected you. It affected us all, but it certainly affected your work, your schedule, and what you could do here at the facility.
Yes. So during COVID, we were keeping up with our agents and our shows, which again, Kingston Trio, bless their hearts, 7 times, we're going to have a show.
Yeah.
Show must go on. But it has made some people, you know, both ways. Do they wear, you know, how safe are you?
People are wary and they're asking about safety protocols,
Yes.
not just here, but everywhere. Let's talk about that here at OWA.
So we do follow the CDC guidelines
Sure.
for the college, and so right now, if you enter the building, you are wearing a mask. If you're outside, we just ask that you, if you can't socially distance, you wear your mask.
Sure.
So.
All right, in the moment or two that we have, I want to talk about something that a lot of our viewers probably don't know about, and that's the movie series.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
We started a movie series, you know, after COVID. We just had Top Gun here at the end of August, and that was well received. So we're doing 2 more shows beginning the weekend of Thanksgiving. We are bringing Gremlins and White Christmas here, and the concessions, we have concessions being brought to us by Dixieland Kettle Corn. They're a local company, but they are providing all of your concessions needs, the kettle corn, the fresh movie popcorn, so you get that movie experience when you're in here. But yes, we have White Christmas and Gremlins.
Let's hope our folks come out in large numbers and support OWA and enjoy themselves.
Yes, absolutely. That would be great.
Okay, Danielle, in the moment or two that we have, I want our viewers to know what a great job you do here at OW Williamson. It's a huge job. I only know a bit of it, but you know that 50 or 60 hours a week is just a start. So thank you very much for all that you do.
Thank you, absolutely. I appreciate it.
We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, in the past, they hadn't really worried about doing Facebook Live or anything, and then of course the pandemic hit and we had to rethink some things. So we were gonna try to do live, and I spoke with a friend of mine and he said, your signal unfortunately isn't strong enough. So that's when we made the switch to ATMC. Since we switched, it has been totally different. I mean, there's no comparison between what we had before. We use a program called OBS to broadcast from our camera to Facebook, and it tells me how many frames have been dropped. Well, with the previous provider, about 98% of the frames were lost. And then the first Sunday we did with ATMC, we had 0%. We've heard a lot of buzz in the community, and we're able to reach more because the signal is better, and you know, the quality of the video and the audio is better. So I mean, it has helped us reach more people that we otherwise may not have. I believe they have good customer service, good installation people. I was out here when they put the Wi-Fi in here at the sanctuary, and they were very nice, very quick and easy and friendly. And so yes, I would highly recommend ATMC to whoever is maybe looking or debating on switching. I would say yes, go ahead and make the switch.
Folks, thanks for being with us on Our Hometown. If you have a story that you'd like for us to consider, be in touch with us at atmctv.com. Thanks again. See you real soon on Our Hometown.
We had satellite internet previously. It was quite a hassle when trying to book loads, trying to send documentation, trying to basically just communicate back and forth through emails. When you're trying to book loads, someone could easily swoop right in before you. If I'm taking 5-10 minutes to load a page, they can swoop in, book that job, and they're on the road before I can ever even make a contact. We knew when we moved rural it was probably going to be a struggle to find a solid internet connection, and then ATMC came and they were telling us about their services, advertising and everything, so we said, hey, we got to call this. We got to have it. Being out here in a more rural area, speeds like that are unheard of, so to see that speed, it's exciting. You know that I'll have that now, so with my business, I'm not gonna have to worry about, I gotta go up the road and try to send this email on my phone or something. Be able to do it all right here in-house. Definitely ATMC would be the only way. That's it. That's all there is to it.